Hey y'all, this is TR McCoy.
And this is your girl, TR McCoy, and we are back with another video. And so today we're going to be talking about staying positive while going through turmoils. What do you do? So, Mr. McCoy, when you're going through um, rough times in your life, how do you stay positive?
Well, that's a good question. How do you stay positive? First, whatever the situation is that I'm going through, I try not to let it overwhelm me. I sit back and think about the situation.
Mhm.
Um, think about how I can get out the situation without saying doing no more damage that's already been, whether it's financially or emotionally. I try not to let it take over the situation.
So you try not to let it overwhelm you.
That's why I try not to let it overwhelm me. Yes,
Because we know that sometimes when we're going through situations, it can cause us to stay woke at night, tossing and turning. It can cause us to really become depressed because we don't know how or what to do to get out of the situation that we're in. Or it can cause us to even get sick because it's stress. And when it's stress on the body, stress on the mind. So it
I
can cause
agree.
you to get
I
sick.
agree. And sometimes you just have to just stop and just stand still and let it flow like a storm, like a rainy storm, a thunderstorm. You know, it's real bad, but then eases up, it eases up, and then it's gone, and the sun comes back out.
Well, we know that the Bible tells us that we're not to worry. And even though the Lord tells us not to worry, we still find a way to worry.
Well, that's true. I think it's our human nature sometimes to worry.
Right.
And sometimes I think it's just like I said, it's our human nature to worry when something happens. But when you can grasp the situation at hand,
Hmm.
then you could calm yourself, and it's just a season, just like a storm. Things will get better.
Hmm.
And sometimes you just have to sit back and let that situation run its course
Work its way out.
and
I
work its
agree.
way out.
I
And
agree.
after you let it work its way out, it's gone. Now, if you brought that situation on, you know what not to do again, so you bring that same situation back again. Hopefully,
You
that
learn.
it can be a learning experience,
Right.
and but life is a bunch of up and downs. Some we cause, and some are just things that happen along with life, and
Right.
and you just have to deal with them situations as they come up, and
Right.
you're going to have some
Well, I know
situations,
there's been times when um, I've I've caused my own turmoils, and
we all have.
I've stayed up late and haven't slept, and trying to figure it out and trying to work it out. And
Yeah, I
then
can't remember some of them turmoils that you
one
caused.
time, I learned that you just have to give it to God and let Him work it out for us. Because, like you said, it's a learning experience, but it's also, I know there's a passage in the Bible that tells us that um, even though we get ourselves into situations, God already has a plan on how we're going to work out. It's going to work out. He's going to work it out for us to get out of that situation. So there's been times when I couldn't figure out how are we going to fix this problem? How are we going to fix this situation? And I just left it alone, left it in God's hands, and let God work it out. And it does. He really does. When the Bible tells you that God has a plan for every situation that we get into for us to get out of. He's already set the way for us to get out of it. And this is why I think the Bible tells us not to worry, because we can't change a situation once it's set its course. It has to, like you said, go through its course till it plays itself out.
Yeah,
And a
but
lot of times, God already set it for it to work itself out. Now, it doesn't mean that there's not consequences with what we do. There's consequences that we have to pay in order because of what we've done. However, God has still worked it out so that we can get through it, and that's the good thing about and that's, I think, why he tells us not to worry about it, but to turn it over to him and let him show us the way out,
yeah,
because
I agree.
he does show us the way
But
out.
do you remember the times when we didn't have the Lord in our lives like he is now, and we was doing things and things was happening, and we was like, "Oh my God, what we gonna do?" Do you
Well,
remember them days?
it's not that God wasn't in our lives. It's because God has always been in my life, growing up through coming through my young adult teenage years, and not from 9 years old. God has always been in my life, but have I always been in tune with what he was
Well,
telling me?
yeah,
No,
that's
I
true.
haven't,
That's true.
but
That's
he's
true.
always been there.
Right.
And yeah, I remember, my casino days. I remember my gambling days, my addiction. And they say that once you have an addiction, it's always an addiction. It's not that, oh, I'm done, I went through it, I'm good. No, because I could fall right back into it at any given moment. However, I thank God that he delivered me from that addiction, because baby,
So you ain't got to tell me.
baby, that thing was,
Oh yeah, it was. I
that thing
remember.
was that thing wasn't no
Had
laughing
you
matter. It
had
really
a
wasn't.
hold of you? Yes, I can remember.
And I can say from
Yeah,
experience that addictions are, people will say to, well, all you got to do is
it's
stop.
not
That's
that
not
easy.
true.
Yeah, it's
That's
not
not
that
true.
easy.
And that's why it's called an
That's not
addiction.
that
It's an
easy.
addiction because it's something that at one point you have it, and then it has you. So
Hmm.
it's serious. It's not
Yep.
something that you can walk away on your own. Now, no, they used to say you go to call Gamblers Anonymous, and I used to say, they ain't giving me my
But,
money
but
back, I'm not calling them.
but it's a
You
help. It's a
know.
helper. Though.
Well,
I
I
mean,
don't know. I never
luckily you
called them.
never went right.
I
Luckily you
never
never
called them,
went
but I
right.
did
It
call them.
do.
I did call the one that I knew that could help me, and that was God. And I thank God that
Oh yeah.
he delivered
Okay.
me from that thing,
Well,
because
that was good gamblers
it
anonymous.
was it was a mess.
Yeah, it was.
And not just gambling, but smoking. I used to smoke
Yeah.
cigarettes. I smoked
We both used
cigarettes
to smoke
for
cigarettes.
24 years.
Yep.
I've been smoke free now for, let me see, 20. I've been smoke free for since 20, 20,
It was a long time. It was a long
22
time.
years.
Do you remember when we used to argue about cigarettes? Will you sit there smoking my cigarette? Go back. You remember? Do you remember them days,
Yeah, I
Ellen? Do you
remember.
remember?
And that's something, you can
Oh boy,
sit
that
and
was
laugh
funny.
at it now,
Now, but it
but back
wasn't funny back then. You
back
smoking my
then,
last cigarette, girl? You want to go get me another pack of cigarettes? Yeah, they were
oh
some.
Lord,
They was the
they
days.
were
They
they
were
were,
the
and
days.
that's what I'm saying. That addictions are what they are. At one
Yeah.
point, you have control over it, and then you find that it has control over you. That's when you know it's really an addiction. Anything that you can't put down, or you can't stop, or you can't turn away from, it is an addiction. And people will say, oh, well, this is not addiction. Weed is not addictive. Yes, it is. If you have to smoke a joint every day, or you have to drink every day or every
It's
weekend,
an
it's an
addiction.
addiction. You are
It's an
addicted.
addiction.
And you say,
Yeah.
oh, I can stop anytime I want to, but
Yeah.
can you stop for good? No, because if you have to go back again, it's an addiction.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is.
Yeah.
And so we just wanted to come on real quick and say that, anything that you get addicted to, or, and it's like porn, it's like drinking, like I said, doing drugs, smoking, if you turn it over to God, and I believe that you have to have a heart that's really ready to let something go, because you can't just say, well, I'm going to quit, or I'm done and I'm stopping, and boom, that's it. No,
Right.
you have to really want to let it go. And when you go to God and you really want to let it go and you put forth that effort, He is there to take it from you. And
Yes,
I
but
know
that was the
from
key word.
experience,
You have to put forth that
the
effort.
effort, yes.
It's just not going to go away because you're going to pray to God and it's just going
And
to
wait for Him to
disappear.
take it.
No,
Right.
you have to do your part. That's
Right.
what any situations that come up in your life.
Right.
You know, you have to do your part. You can't just sit back. Well, I prayed to God and God is going to take it away. No, God is not just going to take it away. You have to do your part
Yes.
in that situation to make it go. You just can't sit back and do nothing and expect it to go away.
Right.
You got yourself
You
into
have
it,
a part to play.
and you have to get
You know,
yourself out
and
of
I
it too.
think that's
But the
when
Lord got your back as far as getting you through
I
that.
think once He sees that you are sincere about letting that addiction go, whatever it may be. Once He see that you are putting forth an effort to turn it loose, then he takes it and he throws it away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, He throws it away,
Yep.
and you can definitely count on Him. You
Mm-hmm.
can actually count on God to do what He says He'll do
Yep.
when you go to Him with sincerity in your heart.
Yep.
And that's the good thing. But there's always, I say, there's always a way out, because His word tells us that He has already made a way out for us.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just wanted to come on really quick and just talk about a little bit of how, and to show you that, we've had things go on in our life. Well, me, I have had addictions as far as smoking cigarettes and gambling at the casinos. They were my addictions, and I held true to them. And when I was ready to give them up, I truly had to go to God in order for me to give them up. People used to say, "Oh, I just quit smoking," and that's good. If
That's
you
good
have
for
that
you.
kind of
Everybody can't do
willpower,
that though.
that's good for you. But it
Everybody
didn't work
can't do
that
that.
way for me.
Yep.
But it's possible. Anything is possible with God.
Yep.
He's in control. And so
Yep.
that's what we wanted to talk a little bit about tonight. And one day, maybe tomorrow, we'll go live and see if people want to chat with
I don't
us.
not go live,
Well,
but
we're going to figure
we're
it
gonna
out and
figure it out.
see. So
Yeah.
stay tuned. And again, this is TR McCoy, and I'm your girl, TR McCoy. So we thank you for tuning in. We thank you for watching this video to the end, and we hope that you will send us a comment. Tell us what you want us to talk about. If we can talk about it, we'll talk about it.
Right.
Give us a thumbs up, a comment, a share, and subscribe to our channel. We would truly appreciate it.
Right.
So you got something to
Yeah.
say?
That I love you. She loves you.
And God
And
loves you.
the Lord loves you too. All right.
Love coming your way.
We'll see you on the
Stay
next
blessed.
video. All right, y'all. Take care.
Bye.